Aike, everyone, Aike. So yesterday I uploaded a video on body parts, the different vocabulary words for body parts. Today we're going to talk about possession in Chimariko. Possession is a little bit tricky in the language, but we're going to go through the different kinds of possession. There are two different kinds, alienable and inalienable. So alienable possession means that the vocabulary word does not indicate who owns it. And this is what we have in English. In Chimariko, alienable possession is only for objects, family members, and some body parts. So we're going to get into this. So here's an example. Awa. An alienable possession, the possession always shows up as a suffix. So that means it comes at the end of the vocabulary word. So let's look at awa, the word for house. On the left side, we have singular. On the right side, we have plural. So my house is awa-i. And I put in bold the suffix that tells you what my is. So awa, house, I, my. So in Chimariko, it's really house my, but it shows up as one word, awa-i, my house. Your house is awa-mi. So in this case, your shows up as me. His, her, or its house, just general third person singular, is awaida, awaida. And that's in bold, the ita is what tells you the possession. Our house is awa-iche, awa-iche. You all's house is awamke, awamke. And their house is awaida. So you might notice, first of all, that his, her, its, and their are all the same. Awaida. That's because in Chimariko, third person is just all the same. It's also important to note that your is different from you all's. Very different. In English, we might say you to mean just one person you or many people you. But in Chimariko, you singular is very different from you plural. So let's just keep that in mind. So this is alienable possession. This also goes for family members like your mother, your kid. It goes for some body parts, which we will get into later. But here we just have a general cheat sheet of what kind of suffixes you use for alienable possession. You'll see them on the right side, and you'll notice that you can take those suffixes and put it onto awa, and that's how you say my blank. Let's look at a kind of body part that is alienable. Some, very few, use alienable possession. Some body parts. Most body parts use a different kind. But let's just go over the very few. If you have a body part that starts with a consonant that is not H, then you use alienable possession. So let's look at hair. Ima. It starts with the apostrophe consonant. And then, so that is when you would use alienable possession. My hair is ima-e. Your hair is ima-mi. His, her, its, imaida. Our hair, imache. You all's hair, imamke. Their hair, imaida. You notice that all of these words start with ima, the root word hair, ima, right? And the possession shows up as a suffix at the end. Now let's look at the very complicated inalienable possession. So this concept does not exist in English. This is when you have a word for a body part, and it always contains the possessor. We'll go into what that means later. In Chimariko, inalienable possession only happens to body parts. And what it does is you change the beginning of the word. You do not attach it to the end as a suffix. The beginning of the root word will change. And so what I mean by the word for a body part always contains the possessor If we look at the word hawa, which means mouth, the h in the beginning actually means his, her, its. So hawa really means its mouth. It does not really mean mouth. It's its mouth, or his, her, its mouth. So if someone asks you what is the word for mouth, you just have to say hawa, but it really means its mouth. It really means someone's mouth, right? And so let's look at the different vowel stem words. It's just important to go through conjugations of what each kind looks like. So when I mean a stem, that means the first vowel at the very beginning of the word is an A. So let's look at my mouth. Chawa. Chawa. Your mouth. Mawa. Mawa. His, her, its mouth. Hawa. Our mouths. Chawa. Chawa. You all's mouth. Kawa. Kawa. And their mouths. Hawa. And so you'll notice it's very different from the other kind of possession we talked about. In this case, the beginning of the word is being changed. And just a little tip on the left side, my mouth and our mouths are the same for A stem words. Chawa can mean my mouth, or it can also mean our mouths. To know the difference, you just need to know the context of what is being said. So let's look at E stem words. E stem words for body parts is really rare. That's why I had to use this word, vulva. Heka. Heka means it's vulva, really, right? It really has this secret its, or his or her, in there. So let's look at my vulva. Chuka. Chuka. Your vulva. Meka. Meka. His, her, its. Heka. Heka. Our vulvas. Chaka. Chaka. You all's vulvas. Kuha. Sorry, that is a typo. That should be kuka. Kuka. And their vulvas. Heka. Heka. And so now things are a little bit more complicated. You'll notice that my vulva, chuka, and you all's vulvas, kuka, changes the E vowel to an U. Chuka. Kuka. And that's just something you need to know. You might also start to notice that our for inalienable possession is all around the same. Cha, ka. It is always cha at the beginning, no matter what vowel stem it is, no matter what the first vowel it is, it will always change to an A for our. Cha, ka. It's not che, ka. Cha, ka. Let's look at an I stem word. Hitra, which really means its hand. Hitra. So look at my hand. Chutra. Chutra. Your hand. Mitra. Mitra. His, her, its. Hitra. Hitra. Our hands. Chatra. Chatra. You all's hands. Kotra. Kotra. And their hands. Hitra. Hitra. Again, my hand and you all's hands changes the I to a U. It's not chitra or ketra. It's chutra. Kotra. You change the I to a U. And again, you may notice that in our hands, it is not chitra. It is chatra. Again, our for inalienable possession will always change the first vowel to an A. Chatra. Chatra. Let's look at an O stem word. Hohu. It's nose. My nose is chohu. Chohu. Your nose. Mohu. Mohu. His, her, its. Hohu. Hohu. Our noses. Chahu. Chahu. You all's noses. Kohu. Kohu. And their noses. Hohu. Hohu. In this case, in O stem words, my and your all's does not change the O to a U. It stays an O. chohu and kohu, right? And again, if you notice, our noses is not chohu, it's chahu. They change the first vowel to an A, chahu. For our last set, let's look at our U stem word. Hupo. Hupo means its foot. My foot is chupo. Chupo, your foot. Mupo. Mupo, his, her, its. Hupo. Hupo. Our feet. Chapo. Chapo, you all's feet. Kupo. Kupo, and their feet. Hupo. Hupo. And so, again, same thing in these U stem words, mine, yours, all's does not change the first vowel. Well, I mean, it's already a U, right? The first vowel is already a U, so there's no point in changing it to a U. That's just already what it is. And, of course, our feet is cha-a-po. Chapo. The first vowel shifted into an A. So here's our cheat sheet for possession. For alienable objects, so these are things, family members, and some body parts, you use suffixes. And these are the suffixes you would add to the end. For inalienable possession, you see that you change the beginning of the word. It is a conjugation in the beginning. It is not a suffix. And these are just the cheat sheets. So if you go and look back at the first video, you'll be able to see which body parts in the vocabulary list should be alienable and which parts should be inalienable. And you can practice conjugating these words based on this cheat sheet. Thank you very much.